What's going on, everybody? This is LB the Realist with Surrealistic Studios, Surreal News, where the real is surreal. Thank you for joining me on another segment as I, slowly get back into the rotation of doing videos on this channel again and trying not to piss off the YouTube gods. So, just recently, Jimmy Dore posted a video in which he correctly points out a few things that I want to go over. Number one, he correctly points out that Chuck Schumer, or Chucky the Shoe, Democratic leader, is basically going to do a force the vote, but not for Medicare for all. No, Chucky the Shoe is going to force the vote on voting rights. And he's going to do this not because he thinks that is actually going to get through, or that he thinks he has the support for the voting rights. He's doing it for show. He's doing it as a statement to get everybody's name down as either a yes vote or a no vote. And this was the whole thing that Force the Vote was about. This is what it was all about. It was about drawing the line in the sand and letting it be known clear where you side on the issue. You know, do you really side on the issue of Medicare for all, Medicare being a human right and not a privilege? Well, then sign your name on the dotted line, like really make it clear, So he's going to do that, but not for Medicare for all, for voting rights. So Jimmy Dore pointed that out. So he correctly pointed out that, AOC, Ilhan Omar, Rashida Tlaib, the squad members here are in fact corrupt. They are in fact corrupt, and we have progressives such as Kyle Kulinski, one of, my heroes in the political realm. He's saying that basically they can't be corrupt because they don't accept money from big donors, and they're not accepting shady, basically all because they're not accepting money from organizations, big corporations or big PACs or anything like that. But Jimmy Dore correctly points out that if you just look up the definition of corrupt, which I did here, corrupt means having or showing a willingness to act dishonestly in return for money or personal gain. So being corrupt has more to do, or should I say it's more than just accepting money, like bribes or whatever, or incentives to pass a certain legislation or to do something. It's for personal gain as well. It doesn't always have to be cash. So it could be for power, influence, popularity, whatever. So if you encompass the whole definition of corrupt, then they are in fact, the squad members, they are corrupt, because they're not doing, and even Kyle Kulinski correctly says that they're not doing what they were sent to Congress to do. At least not in, the ways that matter the most to progressives on the ground, obviously. There have been some things that they voted correctly on, but there have been a lot of things that they voted incorrectly on. And a lot of strategies, as far as going against the grain in the Democratic Party, they haven't lived up to. They haven't done what we sent them there to do. So the Justice Democrats project basically is a failure. And Kyle Kulinski pointed that out in the video as well, that they are a failure. And, but everybody's failing at this point. The progressive movement has been, dissected. And I don't think that Jimmy Dore is going after Kyle Kulinski in a personal matter. I hope not. But I think it's, it's okay to throw jabs like this. He also pointed out that, and which I've also pointed out on this channel too, Kyle Kulinski has an issue where he doesn't believe that the politicians know what they're doing. He doesn't think that, the newscasters and all of the people that, that basically try to derail the progressive movement, he doesn't believe that they know what they're doing. He thinks that they're just ignorant. He thinks that they don't know politics and they just don't have a clue. And that's where I differ with Kyle Kulinski. And obviously after this video that I've seen with Jimmy Dore, that's where he differs as well. He feels the exact same way. And I'm glad that somebody else with a bigger audience is saying it, that they know exactly what they're doing. It's not rocket science. It's not difficult to decode or to figure out. They know exactly what they're doing. It's simple. Not everything is a gray area. I do believe in the gray area, but not everything is a gray area. Some things are just black and white. And that's a black and white issue. They know exactly what they're doing because nobody's that stupid. Nobody's that dumb. So Jimmy Dore correctly schools Kyle Kulinski on what the correct definition of corruption is, or corrupt. He schools them on the fact that politicians aren't just ignorant, they're knowing. They know what they're doing. They are aware of their actions and their implications. And he also points out another thing that I want to talk about. He says, Kyle Kulinski says that you can't question people's motives, because when you question people's motives, it gets dirty, and you just can't do that. You have to, I don't know, question them based on the policy or alone or whatever, but you're never supposed to question why they believe a certain thing. But see, that's one of the biggest mistakes, because Jimmy Dore points out in his video that you're absolutely supposed to judge people's motives. That's how you figure out what they want, you know, to see if it's logical, or to see if it's, you know, if it's right, if what they want is right, you know. And like, for instance, if somebody wants popularity, you got to sniff that out, because they're only doing stuff to be popular. They're only doing stuff for the attention that they're going to get, or they're only doing stuff because they want to gain some kind of, you know, political standpoint, or, you know, whatever. And if somebody's doing that, then you know that whatever they say that comes out their mouth when it comes to policies is going to be BS. Because you already know what they want. You know what their desire is. So you know that they'll do anything to get it. They'll say anything to get it. So Jimmy's right. You absolutely can question people's motives. You sure can. You sure can. And see, that is one of the issues I see with, you know, the progressive movement, is that we have these little nuanced little issues like that drive a wedge between us in our thinking, you know. And it's just, we believe in all the same progressive policies. We want all the same things, but we differ on the strategies on how to get there, you know, and what is in fact an acceptable train of progressive thought. Like Kyle Kulinski believes you can't question people's motives, and I think you can. Jimmy believes that you can. You know, Kyle thinks that these politicians and these news anchors are just ignorant, and they just don't know any better. They don't know what they're doing. They're not politically inclined, and I just don't believe that. And Jimmy doesn't believe it either. And that's the main difference that that we're having here, as far as that progressive thought goes. So Jimmy Dore, excellent video, correctly schools Kyle Kulinski on the definition of corruption. So, you know, let me know what you have to say in the comment section below. Like this video, share, and subscribe. Love, peace, and light, folks. Until next time, let me know what's on your guys' mind. I'm hoping everybody's well. Remember, do some kind for somebody else, and hopefully that kindness will come back in turn. All right, I'm out.